Hi there everybody, and this is a sheet and a short video called 1 minute chord changes. It's there really to help you speed up your chord changes. We would like you to get a display folder to keep all your sheets in, keep them tidy in one place so that things are not messy in your folder. Now, 1 minute chord changes is literally what it says on the tin. It means getting out a timer and for 1 minute switch between the G and E minor chord. Put a date up on top of the little box and write down how many times just in the same box you have switched between a G and an E minor chord in 1 minute. Just make the shape and strum it. Change the shape, strum it. And be honest with yourself. If you change it 4 times in a minute, write 4 in the box. If you change it 10 times in a minute, write 10 in the little box. It doesn't matter how many changes you make, except that you're trying to change them as quickly as you can. But when you're starting out, you might not get many changes at all. 8 could be quite a lot. But if you do this every day, day after day, and you put a little date in each time at the top of the box, well, a few things are going to happen. First of all, you'll know how often you're practicing. And secondly, after a few days, you'll start seeing 8 will turn into 10 and 12. And after 7 or 8 days, you might be doing it 12 or 14 times. Now, I would only use G to E minor until that score becomes about 20. And when it becomes maybe 20, then I'd introduce a new chord. And I would suggest introducing a C chord next, so that you could go between G and C, or E minor and C. And eventually you'll introduce a D chord lastly. But each time you're going to be just setting a clock for 1 minute, and you'll be checking how often can I change between G and D minor for 1 minute. Then, when you've introduced C, you'll also check going between G and C. And then you'll be checking between E minor and C. And eventually you'll be going between D and C and E minor. But in essence here, it's about doing 1 minute of practice and writing down your score. And it's really important to date it, because you want to see after a few weeks that you're doing it every day. And I promise, if you do it every day, that's 17 days, I think, on top and 17 days on the bottom. By the time you have 34 days of just 1 minute, you'll have your changes up to 20, 30, maybe even 40. But it's important not to rush them either. And those 4 chords are going to be the 4 most important ones. Eventually, we'll introduce one more chord called A minor, but that's a really easy change to go from C to A minor. So you won't be starting there at 6 or 7 or 8. You'll be straight up there around about 20 or 30. I know you don't believe me, but that's how we're going to learn our chords. 1 minute chord changes. It is absolutely the best way to learn a new chord and to start your fingers making those tricky shapes that your fingers don't want to make at the start. Fill in the sheet. You'll have guaranteed proof day after day that you're improving. And by the time you have filled in all the boxes on the page, it'll only take about 6 weeks, but you'll have those chords. Good luck with your practice.